What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of Basically Therapy. I'm your host, Ben Ray. I realized I didn't say that in the first episode. Kind of awkward. You guys just had to watch the entire episode and not know who was talking to you. So that was a misstep on my part, and I truly apologize to everyone watching and listening. To everyone I disappointed, I am sorry. The first episode was a little rough, a little choppy, a little weirdly looking. I didn't realize that I should probably change the settings on my camera before I sit down and start recording. So now, I'm in a new setup. I'm in a new room, same chair, but I have to claw grip this microphone, and it's super heavy. So we'll see how long this episode lasts. This is a great start, by the way. I'm sure this is very entertaining for everybody. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for watching the first episode if you did, and welcome to the second episode. This is going to be even better and even more entertaining because, look, it already looks better. So, but I wanted to start off with a very important, very overarching topic for the day, and that is lying TikTokers. Now, it drives me up the wall. I think this episode I'm going to focus on some pet peeves, really get my grievances out there with the world, so I can let you know where I stand with everything. I absolutely hate the modern landscape of media that is solely focused around like rage baiting. And if you don't know what that means, anytime that you've seen a video where you don't enjoy the content or you really want to comment, this is wrong, you said booblerries instead of blueberries.
Hey, can I have one of those booblerries or blueberries? Sorry.
You're an idiot. You're stupid. You said the wrong word. You said booblerries instead of blueberries. Booblerries isn't a real fucking word.
It's like made for that. It's content that is made to draw you in to do that. And I don't know if this was developed by scientists, if this was developed by marketing geniuses, but oh my God, it drives me insane. Because it doesn't drive me insane in the way that it wants me to, I'm different. I'm built different. I see through the lies. I see through the media, through the dark media web of lies. I see through it. I'm different, okay? I put on my little analytical rose-tinted glasses and I go, excuse me, you're trying to make me angry. You're trying to make me comment something stupid so that you get more engagement on your videos. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is because there's this video going around TikTok of these people who cut the bottoms off their shoes because they want to walk around barefoot, but they also want to wear their favorite shoes, but they want to stay true to their statement that they were going to walk around barefoot for the rest of their lives. And this, I don't know the name of the creator, but he made a really good response video about that on TikTok, where he was basically like, if you engage with this, you're doing exactly what they want you to. Like, even if they're doing this for real or not, they are doing it because they are getting money off of your engagement. So you are basically encouraging them to keep making content like this. They are absolutely going to make another video like this because they got 1 million views. They got 100,000 comments being like, "This is so stupid. You're gonna get ringworm on your feet. Your toes are gonna get infected. Your toenails are gonna fall out. Why would you ruin perfectly good pairs of shoes for this?" Because it makes you angry. That's why they're doing it. If you think, Ben, you're stupid, why would they ever do this? Why would anybody ever do this? Hey, guess what? they're not the only ones. There's so much out there. Not even on TikTok, on Facebook too. Facebook is full of rage baiting and idiot baiting. like Facebook is a horrible place. It's like the Wild West. Like, at least TikTok, it's at least moderated a little bit better. Facebook, you could post anything you want. But TikTok, I mean, like, it doesn't usually come across my page. I'm not usually subject to all this rage bait, but every once in a while I'll get one that just grinds my gears. I don't know. That's really all I have to say about rage baiting. It's just the worst form of media, and I really encourage you to just don't engage, man. Don't engage. Just try your hardest. When you see something that makes you angry, just go write it down somewhere else. Don't write it in the comments section. Don't like it. Don't share it with people, because you're just going to inspire more hate. And brother, is that what we need in 2024 is more hate, peace and love. But yeah, another side of TikTok that's been really aggravating me is the Austin McBroom situation. If you're not familiar, which I'm sure a lot of you are not familiar, Austin McBroom is a YouTube family vlogger. At least that's what I know him from the Ace family. And I don't even really know him. I just watched people talk about him before on YouTube, and how weird the Ace family was, and how family vloggers are just kind of like the worst people because they exploit their children for content. Great things to do, great ways to parent, great example to set for everybody, But Austin McBroom has been kind of a controversial person in the past. And this is all just from my knowledge. I didn't do any research for this topic, but from what I remember, a couple years back, there was this YouTuber boxing match that Austin McBroom's company, I believe that it was his company, set up and had a bunch of, new YouTube. Was it YouTubers versus TikTokers? I think that's what it was. It was YouTubers versus TikTokers. And then none of them got paid, or if they did, it was like super late after the agreement, something like that. I'm not the expert on this situation, but that's what I remember. At least that's what, if you look at me as the general public, that's what everybody viewed it as, was that he was the problem. But essentially, after that, he's kind of gotten famous for like going on TikTok Live, I think. I might be confusing him with FouseyTube a little bit, but I know he's definitely gained a lot more popularity for just being himself. I know he's a Snapchat creator. He posts a lot on Snapchat and gets paid for it by Snapchat, which means that it's a lot of baiting, not necessarily rage baiting, but it's like clickbait. They want you to go through their entire story, so they'll post one thing at the end that's like, what? I can't believe this girl's butt is out, or oh my God, is my house on fire? And then you have to fucking tap 100 times to get through to see just the most anticlimactic video of like a house fire, like, or it'll be like a bonfire and be like, aha, got you. It's like, I don't enjoy being titled like that. Okay. It's not cool. So now that he's gained all this popularity for himself, he's no longer really making the Ace family stuff as much as I am familiar with, but now he's going through a divorce with his wife, a divorce, and posting about it on TikTok and Snapchat, and pretty much anything else he can get his hands on, and people are taking clips of it, reposting it on TikTok. And it's not dangerous, you know? It's okay. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing to do, but it just comes down to media literacy. I guess, okay, it's kind of a bad thing because he's asking for money, you know? Or if he's not asking for money, he's at least asking for attention, which garners money from these social media platforms. It's highly speculated by people with media literacy that this is a complete fabrication, that Austin McBroom may actually be getting a divorce, but he is milking this for content like crazy. And it's like, I don't respect it, you know? I understand why he would be doing that, but even it if you fabricate even a little bit of it, people are going to be like, are you even getting a divorce, dude? Are you even going through anything? Like, then that's messed up. If he's not even actually going through a divorce and he's posting all these posts like, yeah, I'm sick, I don't feel good, my stomach hurts, I need to go back in my house, but my wife won't let me, and like, I'm stuck in this RV, bro, and it's just like, why are you trying to get us to feel bad for you, dude? Just process your divorce if it's real. If it's real, keep it inside, man, because you should just be making content that's like good for people to watch. I know people love trash content. They love watching horrible things. That's why MTV exists, you know? It's like, this is the MTV of social media, is just this dude breaking down, having nervous breakdowns in public on camera that he's filming himself, and then getting millions of views on it, and then people making clips and getting even more views. It's bad. It's toxic. It's so toxic. And I see this stuff and I'm just like, is this really what people have to do to get, you know, views and clicks these days? Like I know how hard it is to get views on stuff like this that you're watching right now. Like, and the fact that, I don't know, they just make it seem so easy, but it's not. I'm sure it's not. Fabricating this entire story and recording the whole thing. Does he even edit? Like when does he have time to like put these videos together, or does he just record all day? No editing, no filtering, just boom, out, you know? I don't know. I don't know if this sounds like a ramble or not, but basically what I'm trying to say is that believing, you can believe whatever you want to believe. You know, if this is your style of content, if you just eat this stuff up, more power to you. But this stuff just aggravates me to another level because it feels very manipulative. All media is manipulative, but this is like one of the highest tiers because when they're asking for money with this content, people believe it and people give their money. They give their hard-earned money. Like, someone could be, you know, working a 9 to 5, living paycheck to paycheck, and they see this guy whimpering because he's a 48-year-old man going to a college class for the first time and having a panic attack, a fake panic attack, you know, an allegedly fake panic attack, and they want to help, you know, they see him and they want to help, so they give him money or they gift him money or anything like that, or they give him views, they give him his currency, which is YouTube watch time, you know, or Snapchat clicks. And it's like, you are using your hard-earned time and money to give this man $8 million, you know. I don't know. It's just, I'm preaching to you to say, please try to get a little bit of media literacy. Like, not you specifically, but please reach out to people if you see them. If you see this content harming people close to you, please say something, because it's just hard for me to watch people in the comment section be like, more love to you, support to you, man, when it could be a complete fabrication. And it's alleged, this is just, from what I'm seeing, this is just my thoughts in my brain getting spewed out. And that's all this podcast is. Take a shot every time I say, and that's what this podcast is, Transitioning to a whole different topic, but kind of staying on the whole social media thing. This is like completely out of left field. There was no transition for this. I think it's interesting how there's this whole discourse about Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X, and Threads. I know a lot of people don't like Elon Musk. I'm not a fan of Elon Musk. I think he's a blubbering idiot. But I've been using Twitter, or X. I don't call it X. I think it's so stupid. I like Twitter. I think Twitter works. I think it works so much better than X. And the new logo's stupid too. But anyway, I'm just going to call it Twitter. I've been using Twitter since way before I probably should have. I think it was like high school. I've been using Twitter since high school. And I used to not like it because I was like, I don't want to read. I don't want to read my social media. And it used to be that for me, but Twitter is so good. like it makes me upset that Threads couldn't be better, because every time I open up Threads, Instagram Threads, if you for the layman, Instagram Threads is so much like Twitter, but it's so different because it just, I'm pretty sure the way their algorithm works, it's only the people you follow. When I go on Twitter, what I get is like a for you, kind of like TikTok, where, it's using my information, it's using my analytics and all that to figure out what I'm liking, what I like to see and all that, and showing me people I've never seen before, and tweets that are just completely out of left field that I think are hilarious, but if I wasn't following that person, I never would have seen. Now, that system, that algorithm makes it very hard to pop off on Twitter. That's kind of the downfall of Twitter. That's why I don't like posting on Twitter, but I am on it at least once a day for like probably 2-3 hours at a time, just because it's so entertaining. It's like TikTok. It is so entertaining to just scroll on Twitter. On Threads, I think I open it, see about 3 threads, and then leave. Because it's just not funny. Like, my Twitter feed is hilarious. I will actively be cackling at my phone, just sitting alone at home. Did that kind of rhyme? It kind of rhymed. Bars. But yeah, I don't know why. My Twitter feed has just been cultivated so perfectly. My algorithm hits every single time. And it's so funny too, because Instagram used to be the place I'd go to like avoid spoilers and stuff for movies and games. But now Twitter has the thing where you can just block certain phrases. At least I think it still does, because I know I blocked Spider-Man when Across the Spider-Verse was coming out. I blocked like every possible phrase because I didn't want it to get spoiled. Because, oh my God, I'll talk about spoilers in a second. But yeah, no, Twitter is by far my favorite. And I'll shout out my 2 favorite. Discussing Film. I think they do great work. They are great reporters with movies and all that. And they're basically how I get most of my movie knowledge. And they're like a good, pretty serious page. Okay. And then there's this parody page called Disbussing Film, like discussing but with a B. They post some of the funniest shit I've ever read in my life. Like, I don't have an example, and I wish I did. I know if I pull something up, it's not going to be as funny as I make it out to seem. See, that's not as funny. See, okay, it's exactly what I said. I looked it up, and now like half of these aren't really as funny as I thought. It's the best when there's a discussing film one that I see first, and I'm like, oh, new Christopher Nolan movie. Heck yeah, let's go. And then there'll be like 2 random tweets below it, and then another disbussing film one that's like Christopher Nolan shits in a sack and throws it at the wall and blah, 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 you know, just something like that. Like that, but funny, you know? But yeah, Twitter just eats me up. I love it so much, and it makes me so mad that it's in the state that it is, especially with its owner. I can't say that I've seen a significant drop off of quality of content since Elon took over, but I can definitely say it makes me sad that a lot of my favorite previous Twitter users have now switched to Threads or just stopped tweeting altogether. You know, and I completely understand and I stand by them in their decision. You know, I'm not gonna beg them to come back to Twitter. I don't know, but I also have, you know, friends that use Twitter as well, and friends that use Twitter well, you know, that tweet very funny things, and it just makes it so much better when you know who the person is who's tweeting. Like, oh my God, it makes it a million times better, and it helps that they're funny. Like, I wish that Elon didn't buy X, and I wish he didn't name it that stupid name, and I wish things would just go back to normal, but they're never going to. There is no such thing as normal. So yeah, the way I feel about Twitter and Threads and X and all that garbly bubblage, yeah, that's a word. It's probably the way that people feel about the president, but I don't know. All right, we are at the time for my reviews of the week. Everybody's favorite segment, my reviews of the week. This is a very special episode of reviews of the week. I have been playing, drumroll please everybody, drumroll please, Baldur's Gate 3. Game of the year. You hear that, everybody? Game of the year of 2023. If you're not familiar with Baldur's Gate 3 is a turn-based action RPG, emphasis on RPG. And a lot of people get turned off as soon as you say turn-based. It's not like Pokemon, you know? Pokemon is a turn-based game, and the turns can be very jarring. It can be very annoying because it's like you just want to do your attack and get on with it. Baldur's Gate, it's so much cleaner, at least the third one. I haven't played the first or second one. I know they're like ancient. They're like some of the first video games, okay? But Baldur's Gate 3 has made me like turn-based combat. I used to not like it at all. I used to be like, snooze. I don't want to wait for people to make attacks. I want to be like Spider-Man, and I want to mash, get in, get out, you know. I didn't know that I liked strategy. I didn't know that I liked this game that feels like I'm playing 4D chess. And it's a D&D game. I don't know if I said that already. It's based in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. It uses basically every tool in the Dungeons and Dragons toolbox. And I know it's the nerdiest thing in the world, but oh my God, it is so good. It is so good. The story's so good. The NPC interactions are so good. The team, the character writing is phenomenal. It's not like a profound story. Like, you've probably played a story like this before, but just the relationships and the interactions you have with these characters. Like, I have played this game 4 times now. I've finished this game 3 times. I guess I'm on my 4th one right now. And I'm probably going to keep playing it until they release DLC or make another one. Because this is the greatest experience in video games I've ever had in my life. I mean, it literally changes my brain when I'm playing. I will sit down and play this game for hours at a time. Hours at a time. Like, I was honestly considering buying an alarm clock to put in front of my TV so I could know what time it was when I was playing, so I could keep track of my life. That's how deeply engrossed I was in this game, okay? It's not happening again. That was like my first real playthrough. I was just enthralled. I could not release myself from this world. So that sounds like not good for you. But trust me, man, if you have a little bit of, I have no self-discipline. If you have even a little bit of self-discipline, this will be such a good experience for you. You start off making your own character like any Dungeons and Dragons game. And then you're thrust into this third person open world. It's a little bit linear, but you can go do whatever you want whenever you want. And if you're not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, I used to play this a lot in high school. I used to be the Dungeons and Dragons guy. People would come over to my house and we'd play Dungeons and Dragons, even if they've never even heard of it before. And it's an absolute fantastic time. I look back on those times very fondly. I got disconnected from it, obviously. We grow and we change and we grow from friends and we grow from activities, and it's sad, but it happens. So you can imagine when I heard about this game that everyone was saying was the number one greatest Dungeons and Dragons adjacent experience that you'll ever experience, I was hooked. I immediately was like, I have to know what this is, what this is about, like how the gameplay is and all that, because I've been itching to get back for years. I've tried making my roommates play with me and they hated it. They absolutely hated it. And that's okay. We can still get along. We can still love each other, but it just wasn't for them, and I understand. I completely understand that. This is the most accessible that Dungeons and Dragons has ever been, except for like Stranger Things and the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves, that just came out last year, that I haven't finished yet. I like D&D, but I haven't finished the movie. It was fine. That's what I'll say. Everything about this game just scratches my itch, and I can't believe I don't think I've ever played a game this often. I started playing right when it came out for consoles. Not even. I bought it on PC and console. That's how much I liked it. I was like, my PC can barely run this at the rate that I want it to. I'm going to buy it for my console, and it runs so much better on my console. But oh my God, like, I'm so glad I started on PC because I like it so much more on console. But I just every second that I play, I'm enthralled, and I highly recommend it to you. If you've never touched Dungeons and Dragons, it can be a little jarring at first, but it's here to help you. Like, if you just read everything on the screen, you'll understand, and I'm sure you'll get it. And I think if you like story games, if you like strategic combat, if you like being in like a party of other players, it's just incredible. It's incredible. That's all I can say. I'm so glad it won Game of the Year because it so deserved it. And it just astounds me that, like, you know, I played Spider-Man 2. I understand that a lot of the general public wanted Spider-Man 2 to win. And I don't mean general public in a demeaning way. I'm general public, you know? It's just Spider-Man 2 was like a good game, but Baldur's Gate is a great game. I think Spider-Man 2 is one of my bigger disappointments of last year, and it's not a bad game. I'm not saying that at all. But Spider-Man 2, the story, the characters, the interaction, and the strategic combatness of it, it just doesn't hold a candle. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And if you knew me, you'd be like, are you shitting me? This dude loves Spider-Man. This dude eats, breathes, and sleeps Spider-Man. Like, and so does like every other white dude. Like white people love Spider-Man. But he's not exclusive to white people. That's a given. But it's just like it just astounds me that people were so mean to Baldur's Gate, to be like, fucking a turn-based combat. Look at the combat in Spider-Man and look at the combat in Baldur's Gate. Why shouldn't the Spider-Man have won the award? The fake award. The award that means nothing, basically. I don't know. I love Baldur's Gate. I know I've said it like 8 million times, but I am playing it again. If you are a Baldur's Gate person, I am playing a what is it? Asmodeus Tiefling bard. I've never played a bard. I've played a bard in real D&D once or twice maybe. But I actually really like bard. I think it's a very versatile class. I think if you're starting out and you're going to get this game and try it out, I think that you should try it as a bard because it's fun. It's a more fun way to play the game, other than having to be like, I'm gonna use this spell and then use this attack and all that. Being a bard, you can just be like, I'm just gonna play my lute in the background, dude. Like, I don't know. Enough nerd talk with that. That's I highly recommend you get that game. I don't care how much it costs for you. I think everybody should play this game. It's an experience. It's not a game. It's an experience. Current hour log time, last I checked, was like 170 hours. That's like, according to story games that have an ending, that is my highest played game ever. Second highest number one highest is obviously Fortnite. That's like it's 400 plus hours. 400 plus hours in Fortnite. But yeah, go play Baldur's Gate. Highest recommend. I have 2 shows to recommend to review. Okay. First one, this one's going to be short, is The Price is Right. This new show. Nobody's heard of it before. It's called The Price is Right. The other night, Zach, Reagan, and I, and Reagan's friend, I don't mean that in a demeaning way, we all went out for drinks and came back to our place. And every once in a while, my TV, it's a Vizio TV. It has this free watch TV button. Every once in a while, I'll just click that baby, see what comes on. And there was a whole channel dedicated to The Price is Right. And I was like, I love The Price is Right. I got to check this out. And I haven't really watched that much Price is Right. I think when you're a kid and you see a game show on, you're like, oh, that's fun, lights and colors and noises. But like, I didn't really get it as a kid. As a general consumer now, as being part of the general public, I absolutely love The Price is Right, because I love guessing the price on stuff no matter what. I'll see an Amazon ad that doesn't have a price on it and be like, $400. And I'll click on it and it'll be like $350. And I'll be like, yeah. Anyway, The Price is Right was on the Price is Right channel. Get that. And it was an older episode. It was like a super old episode with Bob Barker, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, okay, it's kind of hard to watch old game shows. Let's watch the new one. So we watched it on Paramount Plus. And Drew Carey's the host now, obviously, has been for years. I love that show, dude. I love that show. I was in it. I was in it to win it. And all the games are so fun. I'm glad they change them up every episode. Do my fingers look weird? I just saw that. Let me grasp it like a man. I have been enthralled by this show. We watched like 2 episodes that night. And then the next night, Reagan and I were eating pizza in bed, we watched like 4 episodes. It's just so entertaining, and like I'm so good at guessing prices. It's ridiculous. Like sometimes I'll go over a little bit, and if you don't know that The Price is Right, you have to get you have to get the price right, or you have to get under. You can't go over. I get over pretty much like 45% of the time, maybe 75% of the time. If we're being if I'm humble, I'll say 75% of the time. But every other time, I'm below, baby, and in a good way. I don't know. It's just so fun, and it's very fun to watch drunk. I highly recommend you get drunk and watch The Price is Right with your friends. But yeah, that's a fast one. It's just good. It's good, fun entertainment. I love watching it on Thanksgiving for some reason. I guess because Black Friday is the next day, and that's a consumer's number one holiday. But my other show is the TED Show. TED on Peacock. I actually haven't watched a lot of it. I only watched the first episode. I started it in the Salt Lake City airport on the way home. And I was like, wow, this is actually like funny, because my relationship with Family Guy is complicated. And if you don't know, same creators, Ted and Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane. I love Family Guy so much. I know it's controversial. I know it hasn't been great in the last few years, but I grew up on Family Guy. Family Guy was my SpongeBob SquarePants, you know? Peter Griffin is my SpongeBob SquarePants. And that being said, you know, I'm not a diehard Seth MacFarlane fan. I love a lot of what he does. I love the TED movies. I love his music. I love his albums. I love that he does like Frank Sinatra crooner stuff. It's beautiful. He's a beautiful singer. And I love most seasons of Family Guy. I guess I don't know if I should say most, because we're getting up there in season count. So I will say that I like a lot of Family Guy. Ever since he left, which I don't really know what year he left, Seth MacFarlane, when he left Family Guy, I know it's gone severely downhill. I think the last time I checked in with Family Guy was like 2 years ago. New Family Guy, at least. And it just wasn't funny. It just wasn't my sense of humor. And that's most comedy shows in 2024, 3, 2, 1. Stuff just isn't as funny anymore. And it's not because I only like offensive humor. I really don't even like offensive humor. It's just that, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Like, I wish I knew, but stuff just isn't hitting as much, and especially Family Guy isn't. But I was very surprised to see that the TED Show is actually very funny. And it makes me very happy, because it just makes me very nostalgic. Nostalgic for the days that Family Guy was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I think obviously Seth MacFarlane has done a fantastic job. I think whoever I don't know the guy's name, who they hired to be Mark Wahlberg's character, is fantastic. I think that obviously it has its flaws. No comedy show is perfect. And there are some aspects of it that I don't particularly enjoy, but for the most part, I think, I've only watched the first episode. I gotta keep going. So I will definitely keep you updated. But for the most part, I think the TED show is fantastic so far. That's my review. Yeah, I don't have a movie to review. A hopeful is that I'm going to see Godzilla -1 soon. Hopefully, I don't really know when. I just want to see it really bad. And I also want to watch Poor Things. I've heard it's so good. I've heard that it's a better feminist movie than Barbie, which makes sense. I'll probably talk about Barbie another time, probably the next time I watch it. I'm not anti-feminist, if that's what you're thinking, baby. Whoa. Listen. Baby probably wasn't the best word to say there. I really like feminist movies. I think Lady Bird is like literally one of my favorite movies of all time. And I heard that Poor Things is a very good feminist movie, and I'm ready to see it. You can call me a beta cuck if you want. Okay? I don't care. I like those movies. Sorry. But yeah, I'm hoping to get back on the movie train. I've just been, when Baldur's Gate and podcasting and TED show, I guess, I don't know. It's basically just Baldur's Gate and podcasting in this brain right now. That's all I can think about. And getting a GD job. That's what I'm going to close out on. I'll what's the word? I'll bury the nut. I'll bury the narrative. I think it's bury the nut. I'll bury the nut. Once again, I'm not going to say my exact job position, but I am looking for a job. And the job market is so bad right now. It is ridiculously bad. And maybe it's my fault. I've never been fantastic at applying for jobs, especially in today's market when everyone's like, you don't even need to put in a cover letter because they're not going to look at it. That makes me feel like shit. That makes me feel like duty caca. Okay? Because it's like, do they even actually care about who they're hiring? And I've tried using cover letters before. I'm assuming that they didn't look at them because I didn't get hired or even messaged. That's the thing, dude. It's like I'm playing psychological games with these companies. I'll send in my application. I will wait a day or two, keep looking. The job's either still open, haven't heard anything, or they closed it, didn't tell me. And it's so funny too. So funny, haha, that you can see how many people have applied for these jobs. Some of these remote editor jobs, there are like literally 900 people applying. 900? 900? Are you shitting me? Let me get a reaction shot for that. There we go. That's a thumbnail. 900 people applying for one job. One job. I don't envy being a recruiter right now. I'm sure that is probably one of the hardest jobs out there right now. It's just so funny to me that like it's literally like throwing your name in a hat, but the hat is 2 feet tall and there are 500 names in the hats, It's just insane. It's insane. And, I'm sure I've divulged this at this point, but I'm in the Omaha area. If you want to hire me, you're watching this, hey, I'm still looking for a job. But yeah, it is absolutely insane. I don't envy anybody else who is currently looking for a job. I'm with you. I hear you. I'm so sorry that you've gotten rejected so many times because I have. Like sometimes the turnaround is insane. I can see a job that I'm qualified for that I'm like, yes, I am a shoo-in for this. I am literally top candidate. Okay? And then I'll submit my application. I will get an email 2 hours later saying, unfortunately, we had to go a different route. I'm sorry. And it's fine. I understand. I'm self-aware enough to understand that I could probably not be the best candidate for a job. But at the same time, if I'm qualified and I'm interested and there's not that many people who applied, why are you not even contacting me? And that's the thing too. I don't want to rant on this too much because it's just going to sound like blabbering. But the biggest thing with me is not even being given a chance or contact. Like no contact at all is just like, it makes me so sad and so angry because it's just like, well, how am I supposed to better myself if I don't know why you didn't want to hire me? It's like, I don't know. Is there something on my record that doesn't look good? Because there shouldn't be. Is there something on my resume that doesn't click with you? Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, explain to me why I wasn't a good fit for this. Not just, oh, we had to go a different route, or, oh, we went with another person. It's like, why though? Like, what? I don't even care. If you can't even tell me why the other person is better, just explain to me what I could be doing better. I don't know. That maybe that just sounds like a crybaby boohoo rant, but I don't know. I feel like being a crybaby boohoo because this is what's going on in my life, and this is basically therapy. That's the name of the show. That's the show, baby. Take a shot. But yeah, I'm going insane. I'm glad I have this podcast to keep me sane and vent about these. And I'm glad you listened, and I'm glad you stopped by this week. Thank you so much for joining. Follow here, subscribe, like, comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. Follow me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, rate and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Go follow me on Instagram at Ben Rayboy. Go follow my TikTok at Ben Rayboy. BOI, that is. And yeah, I hope you have a fantastic week. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.